Daniel Apte from California. This is my first time not only in Boise, but in Idaho, and came all the way from California. Actually, my wife's brother and sister live here, so we came here for a family reunion and memorial, but we thought maybe there's a good health retreat in Boise so we can, get more bang for a buck and do two things there rather than one. And we'd looked around for cleanses and detoxes before, and we saw a couple in Arizona that looked interesting, but we didn't end up going. They just didn't seem to have the right mixture. But so I just Googled health retreats or detox, things like that in Boise, and Living Waters popped up, and talked to the folks there, and we wanted to do the 10-day cleanse, and so we decided to do that. And so we made arrangements with their help to not only, attend family events, but to stay for the 10-day cleanse, which I'm really glad I did, my wife and I both. And so that's how we ended up here. So gut issues, some diarrhea, some constipation. Actually, coincidentally, I went for an annual checkup, and which in itself didn't reveal anything, but the doctor said I really should get a Cologuard, which is a screening for colon issues. And that screening came up positive, just meaning that there was some, they recommended getting a colonoscopy because there was something going on in there. I wasn't prepared to do what they call a conventional colonoscopy because of some drawbacks in that procedure, including being, anesthesia, which I prefer not to go under anesthesia. So that was a bit coincidental, but in the sense that I decided, well, whatever's going on in there, I'm sure the cleanse and the colonics can only help, and then I'll see how I'm doing afterwards. And so that was the reason. I do feel lighter, more energy. I can't speak too much about gut issues yet because, of all the changes. I'll certainly know more as I get back to my regular life, which, actually is not going to be so regular because I've learned a lot of things here about how to have a better diet and lifestyle, which I'm going to take up. But the symptoms I was having were not all that severe before, but I have to say I do feel better in general, more energy. The liver cleanse that I did while I was here, I was amazed by not only that it was much easier than I expected. I was a bit intimidated by it, but it went pretty smoothly. And then the next day, the amount of liver stones that I could see coming through the tube was just astounding. There was dozens, if not hundreds, of them coming out, white colored liver stones. And I feel better, not only psychologically, but physically, having reduced the amount of toxins in my liver. Well, I was surprised by the abundance and wealth of different healing modalities. I knew that there was going to be a number of them, but I didn't know there was so many different ones that I got to try, was exposed to, got to try. And the education, I wasn't surprised that I would get some education, but it was overwhelming, the amount. And, I consider myself pretty well versed in alternative health issues, but there was, many things that I didn't know about that I was surprised by. Probably the colonics. I had done the other type of colonics, which I guess are closed system colonic, and it wasn't nearly as not only enjoyable, if I can use that word, but thorough. Thank you. You and everyone else here is amazing. I felt like that there was a lot of personal attention and love here, that, I wasn't treated like a number or just another client, but I really felt welcome and cared for. Thank you, Living Waters.